It's the first week of July, and I'm madly trying to keep up with everything. But here's the garden. I meant to come out here really early before people were mowing and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't like getting up in the morning. But we've got to do that. So I've been working hard at the garden. Um, you can see that my beans are really a bunch of weeds, not really beans. They just didn't come up, and I planted it twice. I'm not sure what the deal was, although I do know that we have terrible soil. So my pole beans over here are doing great, and my tomatoes. And that mess behind them, there's a bunch of irises and various other things. I just have to get in there. My knees don't allow me to weed very well, so I'm just doing the best I can. But this part is shaping up. Got some sunflowers coming up back there, looking great. I pulled all the rhubarb out of the grow bed so that I could put something really nice in there. And my strawberries are doing good. You probably can't see, but I put a net there because something was taking a bite out of every single strawberry. It's been very, very hot and dry. We finally got, this is where I pulled out the rhubarb, so everything's looking kind of sad in here. And that there is oregano. And I think I got some lemon balm popping up here. A little bit of dill and some lamb's ear. The rhubarb, I think the rhubarb killed that, so we'll let that go again. But my Arctic kiwi is starting to climb my trellis, so that makes me very happy. I'm very excited about that. And I've been putting down a lot of wood chips. Really doing a good job getting my health back, doing this manual labor. So a bunch of good plants coming up. Another Arctic kiwi right there. So now I don't have to weed this pathway. And I don't know, I'm going to have to figure out, I might still have time to do more beans. But we'll see about that. I've got some squash plants coming up here. And, oops, hopefully I didn't go too fast. My hazelnut, this is the one I already had, and I lost the cross-pollinator. So this year I planted two more. No. One, two. Yeah. Planted two more. And they're doing pretty good. So maybe I'll get some hazelnuts this year. Actually, they're filbert nuts because in America some disease wiped them all out, so we mostly go with the American breed of hazelnuts. There's some watermelon at the base. I have no idea if they're going to get watermelon because we're into July and everything's growing so slow, except for my beautiful grapes. I'm going to have to come here and I keep putting it back up. You can see the grapes are doing well, but I need to put it on this trellis. I accidentally was pruning it and pruned the main branch, so we're kind of starting over. But the grapes are looking good. I gotta tie them up. Everything's kind of a mess. I'm not getting it weeded like I'd like to. I can't wait to really get into the grow beds. So here's my potatoes. They're doing pretty good. I need to cover them up more. I don't want any sunlight getting on any of the potatoes. Then my fruit trees are doing pretty good. I got one over there. No, I can't see through the video, and there's a lot of bugs. And then one there. This is where I'm moving the rhubarb, or I did move the rhubarb. And I had a bunch of books, and nobody that we were getting rid of, and nobody takes books anymore. So I dug a big hole and I made a little book berm. So underneath right there is a big hole, and I filled it with books and then covered it back up. I hate throwing books away, but I can only have so many books in my house without being a major hoarder. I want to bring you back over to the grapes because I got a little surprise when I was weeding here. And yes, I do weed, but it doesn't look like it. Anyway, I always like to do the butter crunch, German butter crunch potatoes. And these came up from where I grew them last year. So I'm kind of excited that I will get some, and hopefully I can get them to save for seed for next year and have a large crop of butter crunch. I'm gonna have to look that up. I can't remember the name of those. So my apple trees are doing good. We'll pan back over there. I guess you can't see it. So this is the other apple tree I planted this year. Oh my, the bugs. Alright, let's do a quick through. We're not really going to touch on the pond because I haven't done anything with it. I have a friend that is going to try and get a hold of something that, some kind of automated tractor or something where we could pull it out instead of trying to dig it out by hand. I'm not getting any cherries this year because it needs to be cross-pollinated, and as you can see, my cherry tree died, so no cherries. I need to get this pruned this year. Still a hot mess over here, but we're hoping to rent a chipper and chip a lot of this wood, and then we'll go ahead and, you know, maybe have some bonfires. I wanted to take you over here because I'm rebuilding my compost over in the corner here, and I planted a catalpa tree, which always makes me think of when I was a kid because we had a big catalpa tree. I planted some ornamental pumpkins down here. I don't know. I'm not messing with them. Don't know how well they're doing. They're looking pretty yellow, so they're not something I really care about. So okay, more chipping wood, more messes I have to clean up, but I'm really doing a lot of work, especially for my health level and my age, and I'm pretty proud of myself. This is my Concord grapes, which we got some last year, but it looks like we're going to get a whole lot this year. I decided not to prune it right now because it's and so I put a rabbit cage here so that it could grow over that, instead of trying to figure out how to prune it. I mean, how to trellis it. My red Canada grapes are doing well here. I pruned this one way back, so we'll see what it does for production. The old compost, and my rabbits were inside the shed, and it's been like in the 90s and no rain, 90s, really hot. So I moved them here on a table, which is obviously not working real well. I have to spray the table down every day and stuff, but they're much cooler, much happier. Hi, bunnies. My little poo makers. And so I put an awning over the top of it, and they're much happier here, much cooler. This is my mock orange. It's supposed to smell so pretty, and it bloomed this year, but I don't think it smells like an orange tree at all. Don't know why they say that it's got the orange fragrance. Okay, lots of cherry tomatoes, and I've been having a terrible time with cucumbers, which is kind of weird, but I finally bought some more seed because after planting them 3 times, and I might add that my soil here is pretty awful. It's very, it's almost all sand, except for I keep adding stuff to it, and it's very difficult to get anything to grow. So I got little bitty cucumbers. I did transplant them. They say they don't like to be transplanted, but thankfully I was very careful, and I managed to, so far they seem to be happy. So I think I managed to do it without killing them. So we have some Swiss chard in between these. These are Corlick cherry tomatoes. I'm trying different varieties to see what I like. I'm going to try and save seed. They're all in bloom right now. I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'm going to put bags over them so that there's no cross-pollination. These are my old snow peas that never really mounted to anything. I tilled in the ones on the other side to put the cucumbers there, and we'll see. I mean, it's July. That's when you have to plant it for the fall crops. So if they keep growing, I'll just, hopefully we'll get some in the fall. And here's my other cucumber, more Swiss chard. So they're doing pretty good. I think we're gonna get it. There's some lovage, as my little puppy dog's showing you, and some Sweet William, more lovage, and the sunflowers are doing great. There's a muskmelon. I think it's Honey Rock that I have right here. Kind of lost some of my labels, so we'll see. This is one of the barrel gourds. Probably won't make any barrels out here because there's none. I don't think there's enough time in this planting zone, but I just thought I needed to thin the barrel out that I have. So I just tried planting it someplace else to see what would happen. It's looks kind of sad, but it is perking up. It's getting new leaves and everything. So where I transplanted some peonies and a couple zucchini, squash. I think I have time to plant some more, so I think I might do that. So now we will go into the hoop house. I really like having this hoop house. The apple trees did not set apples. I think the tent worms got to everything. So next year I'm going to have to be more diligent. Here's my barrel gourds. When I say barrel gourds, they're supposed to be those big, like, drum type gourds. So they're a long season. That's why they're in the hoop house. And it rained very little last night, and so now all the little bugs are out. Here's some Market More cucumbers I planted inside to see how they would do. Got some tomato and my golden sweet peas. I'm thinking I like the green ones better, but it could be the soil here where they're not as, I just feel like they didn't have as much flavor as I hoped. Here's my beefsteak tomatoes. I have a fan in here because it gets pretty hot in here. Oh, also I hung some shade cloths and they seem to be doing pretty good, so I'm going to look into maybe getting a larger shade cloth for next year. I know they're pretty pricey, so we'll just have to play it by ear. My basil is doing good that I bought, and I planted a bunch of seeds and they came up. Just like I said, a lot of my seeds I was having trouble getting to germinate. I'm wondering if they were just too old. I was supposed to have a cattle panel here. These are my cucamelons, and I wanted to put a cattle panel so that it could grow over the cattle panel, make an archway, and not take as much room. And we went, and they're all out. I have to travel to go find cattle panels, so which we will do. Let's see, my watermelons are doing well. They should be setting fruit anytime, I hope. I had trimmed back all my pepper plants because I wanted them to bush out some, so they're looking pretty short and everything, but I think they're going to do well. So, and as they flower, I will put blossom bags over them to try to save the seed. So the trick will be to plant the seeds next year and have the sweet still be sweet, and the hot will always be hot. Some more of my honey rock. Well, hopefully some of this is hearts of gold melon. So we'll see how that does. And anything that doesn't work out this year, I will buy new seed. But the ultimate goal is to be able to save my own seed, so I don't have to spend so much money every year trying to grow things from seed and just spending all that money. So lots of peppers and a hydrangea back there that I'm going to try and propagate new plants from this year. Some of the grape plants there. That might be right here. I think that's the thornless blackberry that I've been propagating. So more grape plants. My little snack strawberry tower that I come out and eat ripe strawberries from every morning. This is my little work area. This is where I'm trying to do the little seedlings. It's kind of messy right now because I just planted the cucamelons and left all the stuff here. This is my sweet basil, which finally came up from seed. Alrighty, got another fan. I'm trying to figure out how to get, probably get a surge protector so that I can have two fans going in here, because it's during the day it's like 100 degrees in here. This is my chocolate mint that needs to be weeded. These are all in containers, so all I have to do is pick them up and move them. Those little lids with the white stuff is my ant killer stuff. It's half powdered sugar and half baking soda, and they eat it, and it kind of ends their life for them. So the ants, as you can see, I have ant hills all over the place. So It's helping a little, but we've just got so many ants. These are my special tomatoes. I'm really excited about the Rossi tomato. It's an heirloom breed from Italy, and you really can't buy them at the store because they're so delicate, but I'm very excited to try them out, so we'll see. My rosemary. And more, you know, paste tomatoes, lots of stuff. I have my blueberries. This is hopefully my last load of dirt we get from the Amish feed store nearby. We get dairy dew dirt, composted cow poo, and my blueberries are doing pretty good, except for a couple are pretty yellow, so I've been trying to bring up the acid content in there. I only have, the only blueberries I've seen so far are right there, which is kind of disappointing. I've got a couple that look like they're dying, probably because they're in 5-gallon buckets. I'm not really sure. But I unfortunately learned by trial and error, which is really what everybody does, but I would like to have more successes than errors. Here's the outside. Whoops. I'm on the north side of my hoop house, and I'm really disappointed, and my spaghetti squash does not seem to be doing well. It's just kind of staying at that same size. It does have flowers. It's possible I might get some squashes from it. This is my pumpkins, and the same thing. So I'm thinking I put my dairy dew stuff in there. It's probably just too much nitrogen in that, and I didn't mix them well enough. That's just dog hair. I compost a lot of stuff. This is, oh, it's got a flower. This is a bottle gourd, and again, it looks pretty yellow. So I'm thinking the nitrogen, because I mean, we haven't had too much rain. We've only had rain yesterday, and I was really hoping for rain because it's been so dry. I've been just spending all my time watering and trying to get things weeded, which again, I don't do that well. I just cannot stay out here that long when it's in the 90s. It's just too hot and I get overheated, and so I'm not staying out quite as long as I was for a while there. So that's how things are looking right now. I'm very pleased with everything, even my messes. I'm so pleased that so many things are growing. And these tower things with all the leaves, those are hummingbird vines. And there's another one. They look so pretty with the flowers and stuff, so I've been trying to, I put in a big post and I grow them around that, and they just look fantastic when they're in flower, and I love anything that attracts the birds. Now I have some hummingbird feeders here, and I have not seen any hummingbirds. I keep changing the water, I don't know why I'm not getting any hummingbirds this year. I don't have a bird bath, so I put a little bowl there, and I think if I could get one of those solar fountains so that they can hear the water, they might find it better. But this is my little, I have an azalea, and it's really sad, has not thrived. It's looked like this for quite a while. And some sedum. It's a wisteria. I've had it for years and it's never bloomed. So I'm not sure about that either. If you have any suggestions for me for some of these things that I'm having problems with, I'd love to hear them. This is my shade spot. Great big maple tree. And hostas, lily of the valleys. I'm trying to let things take over. I don't want to mow for the rest of my life. It's just too much mowing. I want to just have plants. We haven't really gone into my front yard, but really the only thing I have for edible, let's see if I can, I don't think you can see it, but in case you can, I have two butternut trees out there. I don't know what butternuts taste like, but hopefully someday I will find out. Okay, well that's it for this video. It was a little longer than I meant to, but thank you for looking at my mess. Happy gardening.